Former NBA legend Mychal Thompson, yes, that's Klay Thompson's dad, goes on an interview and talks about how he was starstruck when he saw Caitlin Clark. And not only that, but he sure didn't mince words about how he feels the WNBA has been treating her. So ex-Lakers player Mychal Thompson, again, father of Klay Thompson, in an interview states that he saw Caitlin Clark in Indiana, but he was too starstruck to even say anything to her.
When I was in Indy, I didn't care about that. The only thing I remember about Indy is when I was leaving Cambridge Arena in a loading dock, Caitlin Clark walked right by me, and I froze. I didn't say hello to her. How about that? My favorite basketball player outside of Klay was right there in front of me. There she was, and I said, no, I can't do it. But getting back to your question, you're right. That's what I remember most about Indiana. Caitlin Clark was right there next to me.
If you don't know who Mychal Thompson is, he was with the Lakers, the Showtime Lakers, from 1987 to 1991. So for him to be starstruck over someone like Caitlin Clark, it says something. And you know, he's no slouch to being around or commenting on the biggest of the big. I mean, he was the first overall round draft pick in the NBA. He played for 14 years, going up against Larry Bird, playing alongside Magic Johnson. In the Showtime Lakers era, this guy knows what it's like to be around star power. And apparently, he has actually been a fan of Caitlin Clark since her days at Iowa, telling his colleagues, hey, you gotta start watching women's basketball because there's this phenomenal player that's doing things that I haven't ever seen a woman do before. And he really didn't hold back on his feelings about how he felt a lot of the people in the WNBA had treated Caitlin Clark in her rookie season.
Well, they don't like Caitlin Clark. You know, Caitlin Clark, I've been noticing, I've been following her career since she was a sophomore at Iowa, and I recognized how different she was, how different she played the game. She played the game like Steph Curry. We had never seen a woman play like that before. And I knew once she got further along in her career in college, I used to tell all my colleagues who are not into women's basketball, I say, hey, man, you got to check out this girl in Iowa, man. She shoots from the logo. She shoots from almost half court. She's different. And I was trying to emphasize it for about a year. Then we finally caught on. And men who travel with us in our traveling party who are basically anti-women's basketball, just didn't care for it, didn't want to talk about it, had no interest in it at all. All of a sudden, they started watching Caitlin Clark and got intrigued by her. And they became fans of her and her game. And now that she's in the WNBA, man, I tell you, she needs a Jeep endorsement. Commercial, because Jeep is an acronym that I've come up with of the way she has been treated and not welcomed into the WNBA. Jeep, the acronym is JEEP, and that stands for jealousy, envy, egos, and pettiness.
There are a lot of people who agree with this sentiment, as some examples could be the Kennedy Carter hip check that came from behind, very often referred to as a bit of a cheap shot. And there are plenty other examples that I could go into, but I will say this, with all of the hype that Caitlin Clark got going into her rookie season in the WNBA, everybody had something to prove when they played against her. I've heard a lot of people say you would never get this treatment if you're Kobe Bryant. Like Kobe Bryant, you don't touch that guy. On the flip side, a lot of people say these are just her welcome to the league moments. Either way, there is no denying the zest that a lot of people had when covering Caitlin Clark in her rookie season. I mean, she was double teamed, she was triple teamed, she was the focal point of a lot of teams and definitely at the top of their scouting reports. So they wanted to stop her at all costs. They knew there were all these eyes on them watching those games, so I think that there was just a little bit more to prove whenever playing Caitlin Clark. It has been argued that at times it has been quite excessive, and I don't know, if I'm the WNBA, I know that there's a lot like relying on this one player. I would want to make sure that she does not get injured with how many eyes she does bring into the league, with the revenue she brings into the league. But at the same time, I don't want it to lose its competitive edge. But in this coming season, I don't know if Caitlin Clark is, twice as big as she was last season. I'm embellishing just a little. But she has bulked up. And no, she will not be tossed around as easily as she was in the previous season. And you gotta also remember, she was coming back from having played a full season where she was in the championship game in NCAA, going straight into her first league in the pros in the WNBA. So I can only imagine what this actual season off has done for her. And anybody who follows Caitlin Clark knows that she basically, it's kind of a joke now that she lives at the Indiana Fever and the Pacers gym. And she did decline to be part of the Unrivaled League, which a lot of people were arguing it would keep her in game shape. A lot of people thought she needed the time off. And I don't know, I think that she does not waste a minute, as even when she's traveling, she is seen in gyms in other cities than her home city. I think she knows what's on the line. I think she understands the pressure that she has, like very much lifting a lot of the league's presence up, making it a very mainstream, desired to watch. I don't think there's been any season that has been looked forward to as much as this current WNBA season. And 8 months off, that's just like torture to so many people, including myself. I, for one, cannot wait to see her and the rest of the Indiana Fever take that court. I am a fan of the WNBA in total, and I cannot wait to see a lot of the players. Nafisa Collier being a big one. Courtney Williams, really been loving her lately. Very excited to see how the Aces team shakes out after this free agency offseason. And Maureen Johannes and Tosh Cloud joining the Liberty really makes me curious to see how they're going to be. Oh, and I probably should have mentioned this earlier in the video, but I have some exciting news, and I am going to be going live with Robin Lundberg later today at 4 p.m. So tune into that if you want. But I will end the video on a total tangent, as the Indiana Fever have dropped Aaliyah Boston's new workout video, of which she seems to be working on her middies and her floaters. I personally want to see her working on her threes a little more, because as a center up against the other big centers in the league, I think that that is what can separate her game a little bit and like space out the floor and add to the motion offense that the Indiana Fever want to do this next season. Because Aaliyah Boston doesn't traditionally take many threes, and when she does, she doesn't have a high percentage of making it. Either way, her pick and roll action with Caitlin Clark and her high court IQ are gonna go far. But anyway, here's the video.